All right, moving on to B6, we're identifying and distinguishing between automatic and socially mediated contingencies. Automatic contingency is produce consequences without needing another individual to change the environment. For example, sensory or automatic function of behaviors, scratching an itch, stimming. It's just you. No one else is involved in this. It's just going to be you, or in my case, it's just me. Automatically reinforcing myself, right? You're automatically reinforcing yourself, or vice versa. Then we move on to socially mediated. The consequence is delivered through another individual, right? A teacher rewarding a student, a parent punishing their child. This is someone else. Someone else is involved in doing these contingencies. Someone else needs to be a part of it for it to be considered socially mediated. Let's quickly go back to automatic. A common misconception is that it's repetitive, idiosyncratic, stereotypic behaviors are often referred to as producing automatic reinforcement. But what looks like automatic reinforcement, right, loud vocalizations, may also have some socially mediated contingencies like attention or escape from a demand. So be careful not to just automatically assume it's automatic. Be careful not to automatically assume it's automatic. Remember, behavior is defined by its function, not its topography. When we're thinking of positive automatic reinforcement, behavior is followed immediately by the presentation or addition of a stimulus that increases the future frequency of that and similar behaviors under similar conditions, and an individual's own behavior results in the addition of something desirable. Think producing one's own positive reinforcement, no social mediation. Here's a quick example of what automatic reinforcement would look like for yourself. When it's hot outside, Danny turns the air conditioner on, which adds refreshing, cool air to her living space. It feels so nice that she continues to use the air conditioner whenever she needs a little refreshing, cool air. Positive because of its addition of cool air, and automatic because the reinforcement is delivered from oneself. No one else turned on her air conditioning. She did that for herself. All right. Negative automatic reinforcement, when a behavior is followed immediately by the reduction or removal of a stimulus, which increases the future frequency of that and similar behaviors under similar conditions. An individual's own behavior results in the removal of something desirable or something undesirable. Think producing one's own relief, escape, or avoidance. Think social mediation. So, for example, when you scratch your skin at the point of an insect bite and it provides relief, the scratching behavior will increase, right? Even though it's probably not the best for you because you don't want to scratch open your skin. Don't think that way. I'm just an overthinker. But negative, this is negative because there is a removal of an aversive stimulus, right? That's super itchy, like, I just have to get it. And automatic because the reinforcement is delivered by yourself, by oneself. You're scratching that itch. You're scratching the itch. Another one I think of when I think of this one is taking medicine, right? You have a headache, you go, you grab some medicine, you take it, you feel better. You're gonna take that medicine again in the future when you feel that way, right? For a headache or something like that. All right, let's think of automatic punishment. Okay. When behavior is abated by an environmental variable, when behavior is abated by environmental variables that are delivered without another's manipulation. Punishment that occurs without the social mediation of others and is mediated by the self or environmental, internal or external variables. So think like delivering punishment to yourself, right? Like I did something, whatever, I'm gonna punish myself. Let's talk about positive automatic punishment. When a behavior is followed immediately by the presentation or addition of a stimulus that decreases the future frequency of that similar behavior under similar conditions. We're going back to what is reinforcement, what is punishment, right? We already know. Punishment means it's decreasing, reinforcement means it's increasing. Right now we're talking about punishment, so we are decreasing that behavior. An individual's own behavior results in the addition of something undesirable in positive automatic punishment. Think producing one's own positive punishment. Think no social mediation, right? No one's doing this for you. You're doing it yourself. Here's an example. And in an effort to decrease her own cursing behavior, Erin wears a rubber band around her wrist and snaps it anytime she says a curse word. As a result, her cursing is decreased. Now, do I recommend doing this? No, don't think it's the best plan, but I understand that this is decreasing her cursing behavior, which she ultimately seems like she wants to do. So she's punishing herself. She's adding that painful stimulus to her arm with the rubber band each time she curses. Let's go over what negative automatic punishment will look like. When a behavior is followed immediately by the reduction or removal of a desired stimulus, that decreases the future frequency of that and similar behaviors under similar conditions. An individual's own behavior results in the removal of a reinforcer. Think producing one's own loss of reinforcers, and again, no social mediation. So, for example, Lena hated her nail biting habit. So every time she bit her nail, she forced herself to remove all of the nail polish from her nails, which worked to decrease her nail biting. It seems like she really likes to have her nails painted. That's something that's not necessarily included that in this example, but you can kind of infer because this is an example for a negative punishment contingency. And so we're taking away that nail polish. Now her nails are bare. Every time she bites her nails, she's probably not going to want to do it as much because she likes to have her nails painted. I need to do this for myself, I think, because I also engage in a little bit too much nail biting. Quick caution, don't confuse automatic or automaticity with automatic reinforcement and punishment. Okay, they're two separate things. I have a hard time pronouncing this word, but automaticity of reinforcement refers to how reinforcement and punishment increase and decrease behavior without a person's awareness that there is a contingency in place. Think in operant conditioning, behavior is modified by consequences, even if a person is not aware of the contingency. For example, a person who frequently goes to their favorite restaurant does so due to the reinforcement contingencies without being aware that the behavior is the outcome of reinforcement. They just simply, without thinking about it, keep going to their favorite place, right? That's my favorite place. I'm just going to go there all the time. You're not really thinking about why, like what has increased it for you. What are the reasons that make you want to keep coming back? Another example, to decrease her students' disruptions, Miss Stanton develops a system for delivering high-frequency praise and positive attention to her students throughout the class. Without being aware that she was intentionally manipulating her environment, the students became less disruptive and more engaged. Right? She wasn't really thinking of it. She was just like, I'm giving you guys more attention. Socially mediated contingencies, when antecedents and consequences are presented by another person, right? You're gonna have the example of a teacher's academic demand and subsequent reinforcement are socially mediated because the teacher places reinforcement, the teacher places the demand and controls the student's access to the reinforcer. Another quick example, Taryn's husband scratched her back and helped her relieve an itch. She couldn't get it herself, but she was able to have it socially mediated through her husband. That's all for B6. I think the most important things to focus on are, do you know the difference between automatic and socially mediated, right? Automatic is going to be just you or just the person that we're talking about, the one person doing the thing. Socially mediated is going to be somebody else is involved in helping with mediating. All right, let's move on to B7.